What's going on, guys? I don't know how many people are in here yet, but just going through the Week 13 box scores, going through the usage stats. Taking a bunch of notes here for the Fantasy Notebook article that comes out tomorrow on yardsperfantasy.com. I do that every week. Started to tweet some of it out. On Twitter, you can find me at _JohnsonFF. How about Javonte Williams? I said it was Javonte Williams week. I also said it was Foster Monroe week. That didn't happen. But Javonte Williams, he hit big. He played 78% of the snaps, 22% target share. That was obviously his highest of the season. We knew he was going to do that. I mean, he was playing well even in a split backfield. Got the backfield to himself. Mike Boone played a little bit. I like Mike Boone. But Javonte was a beast last night. Everything we thought he was going to be. James Robinson benched for a little bit. Ended up behind Carlos Hyde in snap share. 49% to 44%. Not good. The one good player they got. They bench him because he fumbles. Unbelievable. Sony Michelle, I hope you were stashing Sony Michelle like I encouraged you to a month ago for this very moment. He played 97% of the snaps. He had an 11% target share. 20-plus fantasy points. Everything we thought he was going to be. Exactly why I wanted you to stash him. We saw it back in I believe it was week three or so, somewhere back there, when Henderson was out. He got 20 carries, got some targets. We knew this was coming. Against the Jaguars, especially, dominated. Absolutely dominated. I hope you started him. Losing by 4 points. I got Josh Allen left, and my opponent has Nick Folk. Normally, I'd say you're good to go. You see that weather? Have you seen the weather? Here, I got this right here. See if I can flip the camera for you. I don't know if I can flip the camera in the middle of a live. Actually, I can. Here we go. This does not look like Josh Allen weather. Looks like they may actually have to run the ball in Buffalo. But on the other hand, you said you're going against Nick Folk. Definitely does not look like Nick Folk weather. That's for sure. Going to be a lot of going for it on fourth downs, a lot of 2-point conversions. It's going to be a very low-scoring game. Josh Allen's going to run the ball. He's not going to be able to throw it much. He's going to run it. So you might be all right. I think you're going to be good to go. Let's see, where were we here? We're talking about Sony Michelle. Another handcuff on the most valuable handcuffs. One of the elite handcuffs in fantasy football. Alexander Madison. Played 86% of the snaps with Dalvin Cook out. Didn't get a lot of targets, though. He had the same amount of targets as Kene Nwangu, which was not very many. I don't have the exact number here, but I know it was very low. The Jets finally giving Ty Johnson a little more go here. He had 47% of the snaps. Tevin Coleman came in at 39%. Austin Walter at 14%. Seahawks backfield is absolutely disgusting. Rashad Penny, 41% of the snaps. Travis Homer, 30%. I don't think anybody out there started Travis Homer, but if you did, he had that big, long touchdown, that fake punt. Adrian Peterson, 26% snap share. DJ Dallas, 3%. I wish they'd play DJ Dallas more, man. Elijah Mitchell played a season-high 84% of the snaps. We saw that coming with Deebo Samuel out. So that was awesome to see. Antonio Gibson, same thing. He played a season-high 82% of the snaps. J.D. McKissic was out. And he also had a 20% target share for the second straight week. That's super encouraging because they were not using him in the passing game very much. Most of the season, last couple weeks he's gotten that going. Obviously the injury to McKissic really helps that out. But that's really, really encouraging for his usage as we get down the stretch here and into the fantasy playoffs. Foster Monroe, I think he had 3 targets, 1 catch, 34 yards, but he did play 100% of the snaps. He was on the field, 100% of the snaps, for whatever that's worth. He was disappointing, got to tell you. But if Waller's out next week, I'm rolling right back out there with him. I really am. Devontae Freeman getting involved in the passing game a little bit. Season high 22% target share. Same thing with David Montgomery. He had a season high 22% target share. Joe Mixon, he got the rushing volume, which was great. He wasn't very efficient. Not really involved in the passing game. 1 target, 2% target share. It's like all or nothing with him in the passing game. Very disappointing how much that fluctuates week to week. And you would have thought with that game script, he would have been heavily involved in the passing game. He just wasn't. Kenny Gainwell, he's come back to life. 24% target share. He looked good out there. Bad news for Miles Sanders, but Travis Homer, 14% target share. It's an ugly backfield in Seattle, but if you got to start somebody in that offense, you want it to be the guy who's going to be catching the passes. I don't know if we can count on that week to week, though. Deandre Hopkins had just a 13% target share in his first game back. He was a little limited, but target share. He's not going to be the target hog this year. He's just not going to be. He's been in the past. It's just not going to happen. Too many other things going on in that offense. Russell Gage. He's a guy you can start at this point, week to week. He's had a target share over 25% in 4 of his last 5 games, including 29% yesterday against the Bucs. So, start Russell Gage with confidence, man. T. Higgins, same thing. Although we knew that was coming. Target shares of 32% and 35% over the last 2 weeks. Jamar Chase took a hit in targets last week, but he was right back up to 20% this week. Dropped that big play down the field. So it could have been a bigger day for Jamar Chase. But T. Higgins is coming on real strong here. Amon-Ra St. Brown, game-winning touchdown. He had a 29% target share. Michael Pittman, he had a season-high 36% target share heading into Monday Night Football. That is number 1 among all wide receivers. He continues to be the alpha there in Indianapolis. T.Y. Hilton had just 9%. Laquan Treadwell. How about Laquan Treadwell in Jacksonville? He's had a double-digit target share in each of the last 3 weeks. Who would have thought? Mike Williams had his highest target share, 20% since week 5. Odell Beckham was down to 13% after 26% last week. Devontae Parker had a 12% target share in his first game back, but Jalen Waddle continued to be the target hog in that offense, as we expected. We also expected Elijah Moore to have a bounce-back week. He did. He had a 32% target share. That number never went down. So, keep rolling with Elijah Moore. Oops. Brevin Jordan, Houston. He's had double-digit target shares in 3 straight games. I talked about James O'Shaughnessy before yesterday's games. He had a 21% target share. He's a sneaky deep tight end if you need him. Like I said, Foster Moreau, just 8% target share. George Kittle, 40% target share. 40%. That's insane. Insane. Nice to see that he's back, though. Top 5 running backs in target share heading into Monday Night Football. Josh Jacobs, 24%. Devontae Freeman, 22%. David Montgomery, 22%. Javonte Williams, 22%. And Antonio Gibson, 20%. Look at the top 5 wide receivers. Michael Pittman, 36%. Deontay Johnson keeps going. Absolute target hog, 35%. Chase Claypool was down to just 10%. He needs a new quarterback, man. Talked about that yesterday as well. T. Higgins, 35%. Third among all wide receivers. Justin Jefferson came in at 4th. Chris Godwin, 33%. Tom Brady threw the ball 51 times. 33% of that. A third of it went to Chris Godwin. Huge day for him. Top 5 tight ends in target share. George Kittle, 40%. Then you go down to Travis Kelce at 28%. Mike Gesicki at 27%. Dallas Goddard, big game with Gardner Minshew. Talked about that before the game yesterday. Gardner Minshew was good for Goddard. He had a 24% target share. Couple of scores. Mark Ingram's also came in at 24% target share. I'm up 49. My opponents got Pat's D and Pat's kicker. Am I safe? I would say you are absolutely safe. Yep. Going to get into a couple of the box scores here. Only have a few minutes tonight, so I'm looking at the Tampa-Atlanta game. Tom Brady, 51 pass attempts. Just absolutely keeps killing it. We had the over on Tom Brady, 307.5 passing yards on Underdog Fantasy. Smashed that with 368. 4 touchdowns. Chris Godwin, 15 receptions, 143 yards. Leonard Fournette, 7 receptions, 48 yards. He keeps killing it, both on the ground and in the passing game. Tyler Johnson's been really disappointing. I really thought he was going to be a strong play here down, late in the season with Antonio Brown out, but it just hasn't happened. Just hasn't happened. He was a dominant producer in Minnesota. Hasn't worked out. That was alongside Rashad Bateman. He was outproducing Rashad Bateman at Minnesota. Just not happening. I was hoping to stash him in Dynasty, thinking, Godwin, his contract's up after the year, as is Antonio Brown's. Maybe Tyler Johnson's the wide receiver 2 next year. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case, unfortunately. Got about 5 more minutes. What do you guys think is going to happen tonight? Think the Patriots are going to hold on to the number 1 seed in the AFC? As a Pats fan, I am hoping so. Felt weird rooting for the Steelers yesterday for that to happen, but hey, it worked out. Excellent. Detroit got their first win. That's exciting. That's cool. I'm on St. Brown. Let's see some of the more interesting games here. Los Angeles and Cincinnati. Cincinnati just... They flash. They make you think they're legit, and then they lose, to the fucking Jets. And they lose to the Chargers, get the ass kicked. Don't know what to make of the Bengals, really. Justin Herbert, 26 of 35, 317 yards, 3 touchdowns. Austin Eckler had a couple of fumbles, but, he's not getting benched. He had 14 carries, 59 yards. 5 receptions, 45 yards, on 5 targets, 100% catch rate. Not a bad day for Eckler. Got in the end zone once. Jalen Guyton getting going. He had 4 targets, caught all 4 of them for 90 yards and a touchdown. Like I said, Mike Evans, he had his highest target share since week 5. 5 receptions, 110 yards. But it was Keenan Allen getting in the end zone. He had 8 targets, 5 receptions, but only 34 yards. But he made up for that with 2 touchdowns. Keep playing Keenan Allen as an elite wide receiver 1. T. Higgins coming on strong, 9 receptions on 14 targets, 138 yards and a score. Jamar Chase could have had a much bigger day, had that nasty drop up the sideline. Kind of comical, really, to watch it. Unless you have Jamar Chase in your lineup or playing him in DFS. 8 targets, 5 receptions, 52 yards. Could have been a much bigger day for Jamar Chase. Tyler Boyd, 5 receptions, 85 yards on 7 targets. Still someone you can play as a wide receiver 4 once in a while, at least. In these games where you know it's going to be high scoring, high pass volume. Joe Burrow threw 40 times, 300 yards, touchdown, 2 picks. Hopefully his finger's okay because we don't want them going back to the backup quarterback here. That's really going to hurt us fantasy. Let's hit one more box score here, and then I'm going to wrap it up. Why don't we go Baltimore-Pittsburgh? What a game that was. Lamar Jackson, 23 of 37, 253 yards, a touchdown, and an ugly pick in the end zone. Probably cost him the game in the long run. Carried the ball 8 times for 55 yards. Devontae Freeman has taken a stranglehold of this backfield. 14 carries, 52 yards, and a touchdown. Latavius Murray was second on the team with 2 carries and 1 yard. Nate McCrary had a carry for -1 yard. 8 targets for Devontae Freeman in the backfield. Don't see that very often from Ravens running backs. 5 receptions, 45 yards. Mark Andrews keeps killing it. Led the team with targets with 9, 4 receptions, 50 yards. Marquis Brown, 7 targets, 5 catches, 55 yards. He's been steady this year. I know this is one of his lower end games, but he's been pretty steady this year. Rashad Bateman's been disappointing. 1 target, no receptions. Guess we gotta wait for 2022 for Rashad Bateman to happen. He started strong when he came back. The target shares are pretty nice when he came off injured reserve, but they've been going down. That's all because they really refuse to bench Sammy Watkins for the more talented wide receiver. Sammy Watkins, 6 targets, 4 receptions, 39 yards, and a touchdown. Why? Just play Bateman, man. You'll never know what these NFL teams are thinking, I guess. Roethlisberger, 21 of 31 for 236 yards. Got it done, I guess. Najee Harris, 21 carries for 71 yards. He continues to dominate the backfield there, obviously. Deontay Johnson, absolute target hog, 11 targets, 8 receptions, 105 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Chase Claypool, though, like I said, we just gotta wait till next year, man. Just gotta wait till next year. Get him a quarterback. Get him a quarterback who can throw the ball down the field and to the outside the numbers, where he thrives. 3 targets, 2 receptions, 52 yards. He had a long of 40, but Just can't get it to him consistently. Najee Harris, 5 receptions, 36 yards. Continues to be in elite bell cow usage. Pat Fryermuth, 4 targets, 3 receptions, 26 yards. Not much else to talk about with this game. That's really all I have time for today. Try to go live a couple times during the week. And hopefully before the games on Sunday. That was fun yesterday. Getting some starts to questions and stuff. So it's about all I have time for tonight. Enjoy the game tonight. It's gonna be low scoring. It's gonna be bad for the quarterbacks, bad for the kicking game. Wind is insane. Snow is coming down. Josh Allen's going to have to run the ball a lot, which I guess is going to be good for fantasy. That should save his value at least. I don't know what Mac Jones is going to do. Turn around and hand it off a lot. Ramondre Stevenson, Damian Harris, smashing the overs on their yardage on Underdog Fantasy. Promo code yards per. All right, that's all I got. yardsperfantasy.com. Check us out. Got the Fantasy Notebook coming out tomorrow. My Dynasty Game Plan comes out every Tuesday. Rankings go up late Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning. Find us on Discord if you have any questions. Got a whole team of analysts answering questions for you. So lots of great content coming out this week. Got some really exciting Devy and Dynasty rookie stuff coming out. New stuff that Matt Flowers is working on. Really, really excited about that. So big things coming to Yards Per Fantasy. We're going to continue to crush it, continue to dominate, help you win. Thanks, guys.